Yo, what's good, guys? It's Austin here. So, today's story time is about a babysitter I had who was a little bit crazy, I would say. I think it's a pretty funny story. I think it's a pretty crazy one. I hope you enjoy this. Leave a like if you do. And let's start this. So, this story time takes place when I was 14 years old. Now, I didn't have a babysitter when I was 14, but my mom was going out of town for a week and she had to hire one because my brothers weren't going to be around, and my dad lived 20 minutes away. And he worked pretty much every day, so he'd come and check in, but he couldn't stay at the house. So my mom hired this babysitter to come stay the nights while she was out of town. And night one was fine. She came over, introduced herself. She was like 18. She was cool. She told me that she didn't really mind me staying up late, just go to bed early enough so I could get up for school, stuff like that. And it was pretty much perfect. Like, she was really cool. She pretty much just chilled in the living room watching Netflix, and I would just sit in my room and play Xbox. But then the last few days came around. It was the weekend, and that's when things kind of took a turn for the worst. So Friday night, my friend hits me up. He's like, yo, you should come over and spend the weekend here. I was like, all right, bet, I'll be there soon. So I walked out into the living room, and I was like, hey, do you think you could drive me to my friend's house? And she's like, yeah, of course. And then as she's grabbing her keys, she goes, hey, Austin? I was like, yeah. She goes, do you think your mom would be mad if I had some friends over? And I was like, no, I doubt it. Like, just ask her. And she's like, okay. And she texted my mom. My mom said it was fine. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, dude, she could literally throw a party and I wouldn't care. Like, as long as none of my stuff or my mom's stuff gets broken or stolen, I could care less. Like, this babysitter's been cool as hell. She's been letting me stay up late, pretty much do whatever I want. Like, she was dope. So me and her get in the car. She drives me to my friend's house, drops me off, tells me to have fun. I was like, thanks, you too. And I go inside my friend's house. And another friend of mine was there as well. So I'm hanging out with them for a couple hours, and they both end up falling asleep super early. And I get pissed because I'm like, all right, I'm not going to be tired for at least another 5 or 6 hours because I'd been staying up really late. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to go home. So I text my babysitter. I'm like, hey, change of plans. Like, my friends fell asleep. I'm bored. Do you think you could come pick me up? And my babysitter didn't reply. So I wait like 30 minutes and I text her again. She doesn't reply to that. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to call her. So I call her. She doesn't answer. So I wait like another 30, 45 minutes and I call her again. She doesn't answer. And I'm like, damn, like, how am I supposed to get home? So I start texting a few of my older friends who are like 17, 18 and have their license. And I was like, yo, do you think you can come pick me up from my friend's house and drop me off home? Just like saying that to all of them. And my one friend replied and he was like, yeah, I got you. I was like, all right, dope. Like, if you want to stay over, you can and hang out. And he's like, okay, dope. What's the address? So I give him my friend's address. He comes over, he picks me up, and we drive back to my house. And right when we pull up to my house, I immediately notice a fuck ton of cars at my house. Like, the whole driveway is filled up with cars, and there's some in the street. There's probably like 8 or 9 cars. And I was like, wow, she really threw a party. And I'm thinking to myself, like, fuck yeah, something to do. Like, I was a little bit excited. Like, she'd been cool to me all week, so I want to be cool to her. But I didn't realize what I was walking into. So me and my friend walk in, and I immediately see my babysitter at the table drinking with everyone. And she sees me, and she's like, oh shit, Austin, what are you doing here? And I was like, oh, I came home early because my friend's house was boring. I tried to give you a call, but you didn't answer. And she's like, shit, I'm sorry. I didn't have my phone with me. I was like, no, it's fine. This is my friend. And I introduced her to my friend. And I was like, all right, we're going to go in my room and chill. And she's like, okay, cool. Like, let me know if you need anything. And I was like, yeah, no problem. So me and my friend walked towards my room down the hallway. And I was kind of just like laughing because like she probably thought that I was mad because like I caught her having a party. But I didn't give a shit. I was actually kind of excited because it was something to do. But as I'm walking down the hallway, like, there's a lot of people in the hallway, and there was a lot of people in the kitchen. I'm like, damn, there's a lot more people here than I thought there was. And then I opened my bedroom door, and what do you think was inside my room? Because I expected an empty room with none of my stuff messed with. But guess what? I walked in on 2 people that had just got done having sex on my bed. And you're probably like, how'd you know they were having sex? Because I walked in, the first thing I noticed was a pile of clothes that wasn't mine on the floor, and a guy and a girl in my bed under the covers. And the first thing the guy says when I walked in and saw them was, oh shit, sorry little dude. And I was just like, please don't call me little dude. And he stands up with the blanket over him and his girlfriend, and he's like, bro, like, my bad, like, this is totally not cool. And I was like, it's fine, I'm gonna walk out of here, you guys can get dressed. And by the way, do you know how to do laundry? And I pointed at him, and he's like, yeah, why? And I was like, because you're gonna wash my sheets for me, because you were just hooking up on my bed. And he's just like, oh, yeah, man, of course. Like, that's fine. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'll leave you to it. And he's like, wait, where's the laundry room? I'm like, it's right next to the living room. Just ask my babysitter. She knows. And he's like, okay, cool. So me and my friend turn around and we go to leave the room. And before we could even leave the room, my friend starts laughing his ass off. and I shut the door to let them change, and we're just in the hallway, and my friend's laughing, and I'm just like lost for words. He's like, this is just the best night ever. And I was like, fuck off, dude. And he's like, you really told him to do your laundry? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have him wash my sheets. Like, he fucking hooked up on my bed with his girlfriend, of course. And he's just like, that's just funny, man. But I thought that was it. Like, I thought that's where it had to peak. Like, there's no way it could get worse than that. It gets so much worse. So anyway, the rest of that night was fine. He did my sheets for me. He washed them. I told my babysitter about what happened. She laughed at it. We kind of had a laugh about it. I wasn't really mad. But the next day came along, Saturday, and my friend ended up crashing at my house. So we both woke up around the same time, and my babysitter was already awake cleaning the whole house from the night before. And I was like, hey, good morning. She's like, hey, what's up? Like, sorry about last night. Like, I did not mean for that to happen. It got pretty out of control. And like, I'm sorry about my friends on your bed. And I was like, oh, it's fine. It was pretty fun, actually. And she was like, oh, cool. And she's like, do you mind if I have some more friends over tonight? And in my head, I'm thinking like, wow, she really wants to have another party. Okay. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. And she's like, awesome. I'm like, cool. And my friend goes, yeah, I'm staying over again tonight. And I was just like, okay, dude, sounds good. He's like, awesome. So me and my friend helped the babysitter clean up the house, got it cleaned pretty quick. And then we ordered some food. And then after a while, it started getting dark and people started showing up. And pretty much the same amount of people showed up from the night before, like all the same people. So it was like the same thing all over again, except this time people weren't fucking in my room, which was dope. Funny thing is though, that couple showed up too. He walked in the front door with his girlfriend, and the first thing he said, he's like, yo, what's up, dude? And he pointed at me. And I was like, what's up, man? He's like, how you doing? I'm like, good. He's like, don't worry, we're not going to do what we did last night. I'm like, all right, man, it's all good. And pretty much the night just started out great. But then, a couple hours into the party, someone came to the party that my babysitter had like a beef with and did not like, and they started verbally fighting, like just talking shit to each other. And me and my friends see this happening, and I just knew. I'm like, oh no, this is not going to end well. And the girl that walked in and kind of started this shit talking battle with my babysitter threw a cup at my babysitter, and that just started a real fight. My babysitter jumped over the table, ran over to her at the front door. They both start fighting each other, taking each other down to the ground. And I'm like, holy shit, holy shit. My friend's like, bro, what do we do? And I'm like, let's break it up. So me and my friend run over, and this other dude runs over to help break it up. And we get them split up pretty quick. So in my head, I'm relieved. I'm like, yes, like, I'm so glad that didn't last long. And we split them up, and of course, they're talking shit to each other the whole time while we got them split up. And my babysitter said the most ridiculous insults I've ever heard in my entire life. She called the girl that she was fighting broccoli pussy. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that means, but yeah, okay, broccoli pussy. Anyway, so I'm trying not to laugh at that. Well, we got them split up, and the one dude brings the other girl into another room, not my room, luckily, like the guest room of my house, and then me and my homie bring her out in the backyard, the babysitter. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, come on, my mom hired you. You can't be fighting people in my house. And she's like, I know, but she came in and started all that shit. I'm like, I get it, but like, let's just get her to leave and we'll just enjoy the night. Like, don't fight her again. It's all good. And she's like, yeah, I'm sorry. So we walk back into the house. I start walking down the hallway to the guest room where the other girl is and where the dude is that helped split up the fight. And I walk in there and I'm like, hey, like, you gotta leave. I'm sorry. And she's like, oh, I'll leave. Don't worry. I don't want to fucking be here anyway. And I'm like, great. You know the way out. Bye. And she's like, bye. And she walks by me, walks down the hallway, and walks out the front door. And I'm like, wow, that was actually really easy. So the babysitter comes down the hallway after she leaves and into my room with me and my friend. And we're just kind of hanging out in there talking about what just happened. I was asking her if she was all good. I asked her why she had beef with that girl, and she told me like the whole story. Basically, long story short, it was over a dude. There was a guy that girl was dating, and he was going behind her back talking to my babysitter, and my babysitter didn't even know that he had a girlfriend. So basically, it was kind of the dude's fault. Like, he was just being a fucking dickhead, and they were fighting over him, basically. And yeah, that's pretty much how that whole fight was started. But anyway, while we were in my room talking about this and how the beef started, the girl came back in my house. She went to her car after she left and then came back for seconds, basically, and walked down the hallway and peeks into the guest room door. And my room was right across the hall from the guest room, so I see her peek into the door with a bunch of people behind her, like waiting, knowing there's a fight about to go down. And I'm like, oh shit. So I get up and try and like get in the way, but she had already turned around and saw that my babysitter was in my room with me and my friend, and she just walks right past me and like gets me out of the way and starts fighting my babysitter again, and this whole crowd of people is watching in the doorway. So me and my friend start trying to break them up again, and luckily that guy saw her walk back in. So that guy comes back in, that random dude that helped break it up the first time, he walked back in and started helping us try to break it up. And right before we got it broken up, my babysitter pushes this girl right into my desk, and my fucking TV and my monitor fall on the floor. And I'm just like, damn it, are you serious? And right after that, we got it broken up. Couldn't have gotten it broken up like 2 seconds before she did that. Like, just the worst luck. But yeah, we got them split up finally. And this time the dude like walked her outside, made sure she got in her car and left. And she actually did leave. So that was good. So all in all, everything pretty much was okay. No one got seriously hurt except my TV and my monitor. But even those were okay. I plugged them back in and they still worked, which is good. After the girl left, my babysitter pulled me aside and she was like, Austin, I'm so sorry about all of this. And I was like, no, it's fine. Don't worry. And she's like, do you want to call your mom and tell her what happened? I was like, nah, I think we could just keep this between us. And she's like, okay, awesome. Like, that's a relief. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. So yeah, my mom never knew. Except for now. She sees this video, she'll definitely know. Hello, Mom, if you're watching this. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the story time. After that, we just pretty much enjoyed the rest of the night. The next day, we cleaned up the house. Everything was good. Nothing got broken or stolen. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the story time. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this story time. Leave your stories in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys all later. Peace.
It's getting serious, make a bitch delirious. Bitches on my dick, cause a boy so mysterious. That's a mystery, thoughts making history. Wrist keeps spinning like a fucking rotisserie. Got my wrist whipping, looking like a chef. Oregano, am I right? 30 on my left. Pull up with the set, got the kitchen all wet. And the cream team coming for your neck. I don't do shit, but my bitch got